Hey folks, if you haven't watched one of these videos before, welcome. I very much appreciate it. I am Johnny Phoenix. I am just a person on the internet who likes to play Magic. I am not a former pro. I wasn't on the SEG tour even. I'm not a full-time Magic content creator. I just like playing Magic, and I know that when I watch, the big names, it gets to be intimidating because they win a lot, and sometimes I kind of feel like shit. So I just wanted to come out and be the guy that gets you into the format, goes 2-3, doesn't put any pressure on you to feel like, oh, it's so easy to win. That's where we're at. So I'm going to dive into some drafts. We're going to, do as best as we can. If I'm playing well, if I make some good picks, you want to come in and big up me in the comments, I'll take that. When I make mistakes or when you would have done things differently, please come let me know. Come let me know how things could have gone better, what plays you would have made where I'm biffing things, because I want to be learning here with everyone else. With all that said, thank you again for watching the video, and let's get to the draft. All right, folks. I'm back for another Foundations draft. It has been a bit since I've drafted Foundations. It's been like a week and a half. There were some Pioneer Masters drafts thrown in there. I feel like I'm going to be a little rusty. We'll see how well I remember the cards. But we'll do our best, as per, shooting for the 3-3, just easy, no pressure, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get some folks in. Easy peasy. What do we have? Well, there's a Sear Slicer Goblin, which I think seems like a pretty decent, aggressive 2-drop card. The past couple drafts I did were both red-white, so I'm not in a huge hurry to jump back in. We did okay in one. We did not so okay in the other. This is kind of seems like a kind of weak pack to me. There's a Big Fin Bouncer and an Uncharted Voyage that I'm kind of, more inclined to take. I think I want to just take the Big Fin Bouncer. It's up to, I think it's up to you what you want to do here, how you want to start your draft. I've said in the past I'm not as comfortable with aggro as I am with kind of more mid-range strategies. I'm going to take the Big Fin and try and do something a little different than the past couple drafts. A time stop. There's more blue cards here. This, again, just doesn't seem like that strong a pack. There's like a Needletooth pack, but then I'm like blue-green. I'm thinking maybe just taking an Uncharted Voyage, staying blue. Time stop's a powerful card. It's like, well, it's kind of like a time warp. You can just cast it upkeep on your opponent's turn to just get the turn back. You can try and bait them to attack and cast it in combat to like tap down all their creatures. You can cast it in response to one of their spells and get kind of like a counter spell / end the turn type deal. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. It's just pretty expensive. And I think I'm just going to take this Uncharted Voyage. Just a cheaper removal spell. Not trying to be all fancy. Boy, this is just a hell of a draft here. Two rares, and I'm just, no, take blue commons instead. Are we going to do it again? Am I going to take this Refute over this Flamewake Phoenix? This creature attacks each combat if able. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may pay one. You control a creature with power 4 or greater. I feel like that's going to be tough. There's also like a Vampire Gourmand, a Good Fortune Unicorn. If I could kind of get into blue-black and maybe find some Burglar Rats to go with the Gourmand. I'm not like so high on the Refute that I think Vampire Gourmand feels good enough that I would take it here, even in a more controlling deck. Like I said, Burglar Rat's a pretty solid place to be with this card in your blue-black control. So I think I'm going to spec on the Gourmand here. There's an Incinerating Blast, too. I might just be biased towards the cards that I like. I think Stab is just like the best card here. I mean, there was definitely a path where, you know, we took the Goblin, we took the Phoenix, we get a Cerberus here. We'd probably have like a Courageous Goblin from another pack, and we'd be on a mono red start. But I feel like I just want the Stab. Huh. I don't feel like any of these cards are particularly good. If I ended up like black-white, maybe an Angel if I had some life gain. These are just pretty replaceable. This is like the third Bushwhack that's come by. 1,000-Year Storm isn't going to get there. I mean, there's technically a blue removal spell here. This just like feels very bad when you ramp your opponent. This is tough. I just don't feel like I'm going to miss out on any of these cards. Maybe I'll take a Bushwhack in case I end up green on the splash or something. Yeah, I mean, if we had just taken the rares, there'd be a Heroic Reinforcements here for us and we'd be well on our way. Maybe, you know, at this point, people are just on these other colors more. I think I'm going to take Reinforcements because there's just nothing else I want to even put in my deck. I could take a Light Shell Duo, I guess. Like, taking the Reinforcements and getting all the way back to red-white seems so unlikely. It's just so much, I think, the best card. And I can, like, keep taking... Boy, I really should have just taken the two rares. Because this seems pretty clear that red-white is open again here. I can force one of these, like, mediocre... Again, I can just get as many mediocre... I guess the whole set is just, like, mediocre commons. I don't know. I'm going to take a wall and hedge back towards the blue-black control thing. Did we get the Stab third pick? Yeah, we did. Stuff just hasn't been here otherwise. I'm going to take a flyer. Yeah, I don't feel great about any of this. We have, like, just a mess, really. Gourmand and Stab are both very good, but I haven't seen any other good black cards. I'll take the red card. Yep, okay. Obviously the rares didn't come back around. I'll take a Soul Caller here. Yep, sure. Okay, I guess in our theoretical control deck that does something. Okay. Another rare. 2/2 Flying Vigilance, good enough. We didn't take the Angel. There's also a Luminous Rebuke here. Heartfire Immolator is a good card. We're not... Of all the whatever mess we've got going on, it doesn't seem like we're anywhere close to Claws Out right now. This stuff doesn't seem like it's happening. Yeah, we're just going to take the common over the rare again. a Llanowar Elves, and 3 good white cards. I think I'm going to take the Banishing Light. Even if we end up blue-black, this is definitely a splashable, powerful removal spell. I don't think I would want a Diregraph Ghoul. Again, I don't think I'm making it back to blue-white flyers. Okay, I picked up the rat. And Eaten Alive seems like a good solid removal spell. If we get a Micromancer, that'd be great. We've already got a Stab as well. I mean, there is another Big Fin Bouncer. There's a Rebuke. If we're going to end up splashing white, we could just keep taking removal spells. But it seems pointless to take the splash removal spell when we can just take the theoretically on-color one. Just so many Diregraph Ghouls. Soulcaller's just not very good in your control deck because it can't block. I mean, we can get back a Burglar Rat and kind of do more shenanigans with that. Maybe with Gourmand. I could take the Fleeting Distraction on the spec that I do get a Micromancer just to have one more spell, but I've already got a Stab and an Eaten Alive. And it's just kind of like... I'm going to take it. I don't really know what to do there. I could take Seeker's Folly here. I think I'm going to take Seeker's Folly. I would take a Strix Lookout as like a solid early play. You know, the looting is kind of expensive, but not irrelevant. But maybe if we can get some stuff with the -1/-1, or if we just get the Mind Rot as a way to get card advantage over our opponent. Okay, there's an Arbiter, there's a Pilfer, there's an Evolving Wilds, there's an Uncharted Voyage. Now all of a sudden, the blue and black cards are here, and the reinforcements. I guess the reinforcements make sense if nobody's on aggro. We have a Burglar Rat. We have a Turtle that we might play. This card is powerful, a big finisher. More card, well, sort of card advantage. I'm going to take one. It's also an uncommon, so I'm less likely to get a shot at it. I don't even know if I needed the first Fleeting Distraction, so we'll take the Refute here. I'm not really doing any milling. I'm going to have a fair number of spells, but... Here's the Lookout, should I want it. There's also a land. I have a Stab, a Burglar Rat, and a Gourmand. Potentially a Turtle and a Gleaming Barrier as early plays. I really don't want to splash the Banishing Light. That was tough. I mean, I guess I'll take a Mocking Sprite and not really want to play it. It doesn't block well. Okay, I guess I'll take a Wizard here. This at least blocks a little better, and I have like an Icewind and a couple other cards that draw cards, Gourmand. So it's not nothing. Maybe I'll take a Campus Guide if I splash this Banishing Light. I already have a Make Your Move that I could splash. Armasaur Guide is not where I'm at. Just the Turtle, just... The Blight Priest, that's really just a 3/2 for 3 in my deck. Okay, that's at least a good card. There's a Kiora. Early play, draws cards, you know, feeds its own ability to make an 8/8, so it's also a finisher. That's pretty straightforward, I think. Two more Uncharted Voyages, another Refute. We don't really hold up Refute very well. We don't have a lot of other instants. There's a Gutless Plunderer just as like a 3-drop. I think I'm just going to... I could take the Plunderer and assume that at least one of the Voyages is going to wheel. It's just a 2/2 Death Touch for 3. Just another flyer. I think I want the Rat. Just put a speed bump in play. I have the Gourmand. I have the Eaten Alive. I have the Arbiter. This seems like a place where I want a Rat. I haven't really played with Billowing Shriekmass at all, or really had it played against me very much. I don't really know how good it is. I just don't have the... I don't have the fixing to splash, but again, Banishing Light is just a really good card, and I guess I can play the Campus Guide, and that's more fodder for the sack stuff too. Strix Lookout and Hungry Ghoul. The Strix Lookout would be fine. In a way, the looting would sort of help with the splash of the Banishing Light that I already have. Okay, all my removal is going to be Banishing Lights. And then hopefully we pick up a land somewhere. I can play like the worst fixing ever, the Campus Guide and the Gleaming Barrier. A Rugged Highlands, another Campus Guide, a Turtle. I can't possibly be putting more than one Campus Guide in my deck, can I? Blight Priest just does literal nothing. Zombify really isn't doing much for me. Maybe I do that instead of that. Whenever you gain life, I could splash it, but again, it doesn't. Return target non-bearer creature card with mana value less than or equal to this creature's power. So I could get a 3 or 2 drop back, and I do have... I'm going to take it. It's just the best card, and even if I don't gain life, if I can get like just a Burglar Rat back or get Kiora back, this deck. Wow, okay. We have one gain land. I'm just not going that hard on the sack stuff. I mean, Sage with Gourmand is really good. There's just, I don't want the Mocking Sprite I already have. They came back. I already have quite a bit of removal now, but again, I just don't. I could take Rune Sealed Wall, but I just don't want another Rune Sealed Wall. I have 29 cards sitting here already, so I definitely can take the land, it feels like, although some of the cards are duds, that's for sure. Double splash heroic reinforcements. Third campus guide. Boy, another just wreck of a draft. We could do something. We've got a little bit of value going. Yeah, with the... With the pandas. What a weird deck. What a weird deck. Oh, maybe the fleeting distraction goes. That kind of doesn't do much. Maybe the Seeker's Folly goes. I just probably definitely one Soul Caller. A turtle maybe. I do want to have some creatures, and the 3s and 2s and stuff are best with the panda, because I'm just so unlikely to really be able to grow the panda. Non-bear creature card with mana value less than or equal to, so I can get the 3s back. $12, $13, $14, $15. No, this is already only $16. 8 of each. And then 4 white sources right now for the pandas and the vanishing lights. The 2 planes and the 2 campus guides. The Kiora and the rune sealed wall also help me. Do I have any? I have 1 double black card. I have, okay, so I do think I still want to do that. Although maybe I just cut the refute, because I just can't. I have a couple Uncharted Voyages as instants, and that's it. Stab. Maybe I just cut the other Soul Caller. I have the 2 pandas, and they're just better. I have the Arbiter and the Icewind Elemental to finish. Nine blue sources, 8 black sources, 4 white. That seems fine to me. For what I know. Well, I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I'm not gonna. No. I'm not gonna play the barrier. Do I have any other? Is Erudite Wizard just a 2/3 for 3? Kiora, Icewind Elemental. Okay, we'll try this instead. This does not feel like a good one. I definitely would like to have known what would have happened had I not been averse to playing red-white again. We definitely got punished for... I don't know. I don't really think this was, like, strictly wrong. I'll, like, play Gourmand and then maybe on 3 an Island. I play a Campus Guide and put a Plains on top and eat the Campus Guide to just get through it. And I could play the Backwater. I really don't want to put a land on top right now, though. Maybe I'll just play the Campus Guide. Decline the first one. And eat it with the Gourmand. Or maybe I don't eat it with the Gourmand. I don't know, 2 colorless, draw a card. Now I kind of do want to hit, like, I guess either way, I kind of did want to hit my lands. Like, I have Icewind Elemental and Arbiter. Maybe if they play a Lord or who knows what, I did want to trade. Discards a card and loses 2 life. You draw a card and gain 2 life. Weirdly, my control deck is winning the race. Another Mocking Sprite. Okay. I definitely don't want to trade my Gourmand for a Mocking Sprite. I still have a couple Burglar Rats and an Infestation Sage in my deck. I'm just going to use my mana, play a big flyer, holds their stuff back. It's likely that they'll have a removal spell, but I think I'm going to discard Wall. I can still, like, potentially hold up mana for Voyage and Refute and Stab. Maybe I should have saved a Campus Guide for the Arbiter. I don't know. Maybe we just end up sacking the Gourmand to the Arbiter. Okay, that doesn't get their sprites through. If I attack for 3 and they just don't block, I could still stab down a sprite. I could stab down the Felidar Savior and block it and take 6. I have Voyage. I'm not sure. This might be getting a little too fancy, getting a little too frisky. I think I'm just going to keep up my removal and my counterspell. Now if I had kept the elemental back, Panda. There's an awful lot of value there. They take 5, go to 8. I would take 7 back. Or I could just block. No, I wouldn't take 7 unless they had a removal spell. I mean, the Gourmand just doesn't really do much. could have played the Panda and tried to get a little chain, like play the Panda this turn, play the Arbiter next turn, sack the Panda, get something back. I just don't have very good... I have a Rune Sealed Wall and 2 Campus Guides in my graveyard. Yep. Wow, that was freaking horrible. We've got Folly to clean everything up, so I suppose it's not as bad as it looks. If I attack, they double block. Then I can Folly away the Mystic, play the Plunderer. Folly away the Mystic, play the Panda. I can just Folly away these two. They have a 2-1. I have a 4-3. Creatures your opponents control. Okay. I'll hit for half your life. I'm not sure if maybe Plunderer might have been better there to set my draw. I got the attack in, so I got the raid trigger. I figured I just wanted to be pressuring, so if the Panda, if there's a way for the Panda to get in, then I at least get like, because if I can get the Gourmand back, the Gourmand has that finishing power because you can make it unblockable. What do they trade? Do they trade the 3-2 for the Panda? And I still have the Plunderer, and they have to block. They could just chump with the cat. And then we still get to set our draw here anyway. You may put one of those cards back on top of your library. That was unfortunate. Multiple lethal threats. We'll see what they do. They've got a lot of cards to work with. Okay, we're either going to win in the air or we're not going to win. Arbiter's still lethal, so if we find a way to remove the Mocking Sprite, we have multiple Banishing Lights. We have another Uncharted Voyage. I'm going to get back the Gourmand and then play the Burglar Rat. I think is the plan. And see if the Gourmand can get through unblockably. Okay. Removal spell still seems pretty good. Land seems less good. Surveil to the top. Okay. I cannot block the Kiora, and then I have to block everything else. I can't not block the Kiora because they're probably going to move the Gold Vein pick onto it as well. That's 10. So I put like the panda in front of it. Takes 7. I don't see a way I cannot die, especially if I show them my hand by playing the land and the removal spell. I don't really see a way I can win. I needed the Banishing Light on any of like the previous 3 turns. I guess it's... I mean, we're just going to put ourselves like deterministically dead, so... I don't know what the correct answer was. Maybe just concede when they play the Leyline Axe. That would have been... Oh, move the axe to the guy. Why? What am I talking about? They just hit me for 20. Yeah, okay. Of course. I'm such a moron. I'm like talking about things as if they like just move the axe. The axe is movable. It's an equipment. Okay, positive start. Positive start. We had an out. We had outs for a couple turns and didn't see like 1 of 5 removal spells or whatever, which sucks. Maybe only 4 removal spells. But that's okay. Yeah, there's just nothing. I could have, you know, Banishing Lighted the Kraken and then they just attack with the Kiora and make another Kraken. We were just kind of really dead at that point. They had assembled Kiora plus Leyline Axe plus stuff. Bummer. Maybe if I go back, there's a spot where... I mean, I have Infestation Sage plus Gourmand and an Eaten Alive and a Campus Guide for Fodder. I look like I'm Black-White Sacrifice. They didn't have a Llanowar Elf, so that's cool. I mean, I don't have any blue cards right now, so I don't feel like I need to play the Campus Guide or anything. They have a Giant Growth in their hand, I think. Is what all that means. We'll just draw a card. See if we can hit this blue land. Au Naturel. I mean, I feel like I want to get rid of the ruby. It's tough because it's my only removal spell. Ruby just like, if they use the Ruby to play a big thing, then the Ruby also becomes a threat. It's ramping them. The rat represents a card on my side, which is also tough. Do I want to sack the insect for a card? Do I want to... Oh, jeez. I think yeah, I want to just get my island. And then hit my land drop here. Campus guy just not feeling good. Not feeling good at all, unsurprisingly. Again, I feel like I want to keep hitting land drops. Kiora blocks the Wildwood Scourge, should I want to do that. I'm going to play like Icewind next turn. I'm just going to be tapping out. Play Icewind next turn and then Arbiter the turn after that. I could have used it to draw a card. Maybe that was better. Yeah, that sucks. That's for sure. I should have gotten in and maybe eaten the insect to draw an extra card to see more. I'm really on the back foot here. I want to try to get their last two cards with Seeker's Folly, I think. If they like play a land, play a card. I could double block the Gorehorn with these two. Or I could just draw a card here. But then I'm potentially taking a bunch of damage. I should have done this first. I just definitely... I mean, well, we're going to get their hand somehow, I think. No, we're going to get completely pummeled. Ah, man. I am splashing a bunch of Banishing Lights, am I not? There's some Uncharted Voyages. Do I have any of those? I just snapped off that. I mean, the Eaten Alive would have gotten him to a bunch of stuff, or the Ruby would have gotten him to a bunch of stuff, so... More stuff. Yep. Play the rat as like a roadblock or a I don't know what. Maybe I mean, I need to block something. If I block with both, I can't play the Arbiter. But playing the Arbiter doesn't really do anything either. Land. I don't know if I'm just playing the, like, the Gourmand, like, shit. Like, I'm not really sure, you know? Like, being so aggressively sacking the campus guides. Okay. I don't know. Like, yeah, they played some 4/4s, and I just... I really don't know. My deck looks absolutely shit so far. Like, I thought that was a good start, you know? Like, I had Infestation Sage plus Gourmand. I drew some cards. I had the Arbiter at the top end, but by that time it was just... It did not matter at all. The game was, like, long decided. I didn't lose to rares. I just lost to common junk right there. This hand looks... Vampire Gourmand looking a lot worse. I mean, maybe it's just don't put Campus Guide in your deck. That definitely could be where I'm going wrong. Oh, this sucks. Do I want to just Seeker's Folly? I mean, I can get rid of the 1/1. Oh, Folly looks pretty good now, I guess. Especially if they keep on top. Because then the additional Surveil doesn't get him anything. Oh, that would have been nice. And a Banishing Light, huh? I mean, I get a 2-for-1 and I eat their first 2 turns of plays. So that was a big tempo swing as well. Seems about as good as Seeker's Folly could be. I've got what appears to be quite high value out of one of my cards. We'll see how bad I lose this game. They have a Cathar Commando, maybe. I really don't want my Gourmand, especially now that I've drawn 6 lands and I have no value at all. I don't want my Gourmand to get eaten by a Cathar Commando, but Cathar Commando does kill my Banishing Light later. It's possible that I attack and they don't block and then play Cathar Commando to attack me back. I'm going to attack. The Gourmand's just not doing anything right now. I have no other... Like, I got a 2-for-1, and now they're going to 1-for-1 with me, and... I've got more removal spells. I don't know. Burnished Heart. I don't have enough black. I did want to remove this. I just wasn't paying close enough attention that there's the black and the extra cost as well. That was a bit of a misplay. I could have played the white, played the Banishing Light. Because they were stuck on lands. Although maybe this is fine, you know, they get rid of the Burnished Heart, they play some cards. I remove their big stuff. And maybe we're doing okay. We get another 1-for-1 here. I mean, I haven't seen anything very powerful. There's got to be a reason they've got the Burnished Heart and the... Fiend Artisan. I probably should have held the land there. I'm not gonna snap off the Eaten Alive on the Snare Spinner yet. Yeah, we'll just keep grinding things down. I gotta find some way to finish this. Yeah, okay. So we're going to take 3. And then I can get rid of it next turn. But hopefully that means Like, they didn't have a play. Or maybe they did have a play and they just used the snare spinner because they were playing around another counterspell. Maybe they frickin' top decked another Cathar Commando. And they're gonna get this Fiend Artisan back. I still can't play the Eaten Alive for its mana value without just playing this Swamp. I still have the 3/4 flyer that cycles. If they have the Cathar Commando, I want the Rat. It wasn't a Cathar Commando. Okay. Fiendish Panda. That's a good card in a game like this, I think. Okay, they're flooding. Well, I mean, they pulled 2 lands out with the Burnished Heart and still managed to draw a bunch of lands, so... I attack with the Panda, they play the Cathar Commando, free the Fiend Artisan, block the Panda, I get the Gourmand back, Vanishing Light the Fiend Artisan again. Play Rune Sealed Wall. Okay, now I'm starting to think it's definitely not a Cathar Commando. Just something like a Giant Growth wouldn't make sense. There's the Icewind. I probably should have Upkeep Surveilled. Almost definitely. It could be a Cathar Commando and they could have still been nervous about a counterspell. Could just be like a Luminous Rebuke or something. But I think they had a pause at a spot where it couldn't have been a Luminous Rebuke. I really don't know. Do I play Icewind and just ditch the card that I draw? Probably. I think I want to win this game. Could have... Nah, surveilling there didn't matter, I guess. Yeah, that's freaking good. Good thing they already played all their lands, I guess. 5, 9, 10, 11. Is it a fight spell? Okay, yeah, it's a bite down. Boy, that's kind of a weird one. Gutless Plunderer. I'm gonna attack. I'm not sure there because do I want to set the draw and get one of those cards with Kiora? If I play Kiora, I think I'm going to play the Kiora and take the 2, and then I just ditch him. Or maybe I ditch the Plunderer. Infestation Sage is... That's probably what I should have been doing, right? The Kiora is potentially like... They play an Evolving Wilds... The Tatiova, excuse me, is how they get out of it. mean, we found the removal that game. We had a pretty good Seeker's Folly, I think. You know, just easy 2-for-1, and again, a reasonable tempo play. I was in the 0-2 bracket, so my opponent might have 0-3'd here. They might be salty. It's understandable. They have a lot of lands in play. But we got a game, baby. Yes. We got one stinking game. Okay, so we did get indeed roped all the way down. Again, that's understandable for my opponent. Try your best. Try your very, very best not to do that. It's possible that it was just, you know, super coincidental timing and my opponent had a knock at the door or whatever. It seemed like that was a salty one. I do understand. Again, we were in the 0-2 bracket there, so that could have been an 0-3 for them. That definitely hurts. But PSA, try not to do that to people. I've done it. I've been upset and walked away from my computer before. But, you know, it is what it is. We got one win. We had to turn the processor on as hard as it could go. That we ground down our opponent as much as we could, and we got there. Or maybe I'm the one who disconnected? What's happening? I don't think that is the case. Cool. Okay, we're 1-2-1 now with that draw, increasing our win percentage just a little bit because we did not lose that game. Does that increase our win percentage? It does not. It brings it down, doesn't it? Now we've only won 1 of 4 games instead of 1 out of 3. Shit. Okay, bringing down the win percentage. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Okay, there we go. There we go. That was an ordeal, I'll say. 2 swamps, 4 of our 5 white cards, and a rune sealed wall. And again, we have multiple white cards. And no, I'm gonna put back a white card and keep my lands. Try to get to Big Fin. Maybe I just want to keep the creatures and like get the Burglar Rat, Panda, Burglar Rat grind. I've got multiple Banishing Lights in my deck. That is my only removal spell, but I really don't know. I really and truly don't know what to put back there. There was a Plains. I mean, that's good either way. Although we're good on lands for a couple turns now. We'll take some action. A 3-drop. A 3-drop would be good, without a doubt. If I discard a land, I have to draw another land to cast either of these. We didn't draw a 3-drop. We definitely don't want to bounce the rat, so maybe they play a 3 and we bounce the 3. Or maybe we just play the panda. Or there's that. We block with the rat. We play the panda. Trade the panda. Get back the rat. I mean, that's not great, but they could just remove the panda a different way, and we would not get back the rat, potentially. Blasphemous Edict. Oof. If we just had, like, some Orzhov Guild Gates, or whatever, the Orzhov Gainland, Scoured Barons, instead of these campus guides, we could play, like, good cards. We'll try and delay this for a turn. I don't even, if they, like, burglar ratted me, I don't even know which one I'd discard. They're going to remove the bouncer. It'd be a tough decision whether I wanted to double block. They're already in their hand. Fake Your Own Death trades my 2 things for 1 card in their hand. And they don't get a treasure. If it's like... Oh. I mean, that seems fine with me. That's what I've got. I don't feel like I'm in good shape. I could hold a land. That definitely could have been right, because I still have the Refute and the Rune-Scarred Demon. Okay. Well, we went 1-3-1. What are you gonna do? It happens. Our last 2... Okay. That was what you found, huh? Maybe that was a fast scoop. Was that a fast scoop? I like draw Banishing Light, play Banishing Light, get rid of the Liliana. I'm assuming the Liliana makes a 2/2 here. Get rid of the Liliana. Well, first they attack me for 8 and I go to 10. Then I get rid of the Liliana and they attack me for another 8 down to 2. And then even if I can get rid of the Rune-Scarred Demon after that, I'm dead? Okay. Well, I thought the deck was not very good. We had a Kiora, so we had one powerful rare. We ended up with the 2 pandas, which was weird. The deck kind of like wasn't really that coherent. I don't know. I really, I guess, you know, my desire to avoid aggro did me in there potentially. I'll have to go back and look at the draft. We had the 2 red rares. The red commons are all just so bad, and like putting a deck together like that. And the Phoenix is double red, so you want to be heavy red, and we just ended up here. Maybe I played Gourmand poorly in those games. I should have I shouldn't have been so aggro sacking the campus guides, or I don't know. Maybe the Erudite Wizard was good enough. We did draw a lot of cards off Gourmand. It felt like maybe Wizard would have been good enough. The Soul Callers? I really don't know. I'll have to go back and look at that one. That was a tough one. If you watched it, thank you. Appreciate it. Hit the buttons if you can. Leave a comment if you like the vids. If you see what I should have done in this draft, if there were places where I played poorly, let me know. I appreciate all that. It really helps me out. Be excellent to each other out there. That's the big one. Please do that. Try to limit your salty ropes if you can. And I'll see you in the next one.